It starts strong. It actually starts strong.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going further and further down, like the ocean. Like, it just like blah, 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 blah. And this film has so much CGI bullshit.
Are you serious?
Hi guys, I'm Anik.
Hello, Ryan here.
And we are from Are You Serious?
Are you serious?
Yeah, so today we are reviewing, we just finished watching Aquaman 2 The Lost Kingdom, and we're going to give our thinking of the film today. So it's obviously the last DCU film.
Last DCU. We're not getting our scores until the end, so don't skip to the end, you piece of shit. Alright, I know what you're going to do. Don't do that. Yeah. Right, let's crack on then. So, Aquaman 2. Yeah. I'm going to say right now, I don't think it's good as the first one. I think the first one was better.
I agree in most parts, yes.
Ah, so most parts you actually agree. Yes. What is at least one?
I think the story in this one was better.
Yeah,
the story in the first one was a bit meh.
There wasn't really much of a story in the first one.
No, it was just a brotherly fight in the first one.
Literally, just like building up to one fight, and that's it.
The fight was good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it wasn't great.
No, like the first one was like, oh, brother, no, don't do this. You can't be king. I got to stop you. And this one is actually got a plot. Yeah. And it actually has a villain, because the last film didn't really have a villain. No. It was kind of like two pseudo villains battling it out.
Yeah, it was his brother taking advantage of someone who didn't like him, basically. But no, I thought I think the first one is better, but I did think the story in this one was better. You could see that this had a lot of budgeting issues.
Yes, this film has problems. This film has problems.
And you could also tell how much they probably cut of Amber Heard's scenes, because
she's in it more than you think.
Yeah, but I think she's in it when she needs to be in it.
I think that they force her in,
to create the moments that she needs to be.
Yeah,
because they can't fully cut it out, because obviously the first one they ended up getting married, have a kid together,
and they have to make at least one female character look cool.
And like I said, because Mira in the first one had some awesome powers, I think they cut a lot of her CGI content that probably was quite cool to see.
What did you think of CGI?
It was hit and miss.
There's one scene in particular, like when Aquaman's talking to another character. It was a really small scene. Yeah. But I think you know the one I'm on about.
Green screen.
You could literally see his green screen. Yeah. It was pretty bad. But then there's some sick scenes as well.
Really good ones, but so I think that's because, like I said, the amount of times you had to cut and change, reshoots, all that. It kind of went through hell, this film, but
it felt rushed. It felt rushed.
Yeah, like
it felt rushed.
I didn't think it was long, which was good. I think it was just about okay in terms of length of film.
I'm pretty tired today, and I was struggling.
Yeah,
but not bored. Just like it. If it went on for another half an hour, I probably would have fallen asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think
it was just
about enough that you could say that it didn't need to cut any more.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm sure this film was probably longer originally.
You can tell. It literally like cuts to scene. There's not really much transition. There's literally cuts from one scene to the next, and there's no transition or anything. And it's that's kind of rare in these films.
It was hit and miss, and we could probably say the same for most DCU films. The CGI has been hit and miss, but the scenes that look good really did look good. But the ones that look bad, you could tell that's the problem. It went to both extremes. It wasn't like good the whole way through, and that's obviously because of how it was basically cut and chopped. So you can't really compare.
But you know what's funny though? The Flash gets a lot of shit for CGI, right? Especially that whole baby
the Flash
thing.
Is better than this.
Oh, the Flash is so enjoyable. Like, okay, it's not so enjoyable, but it's way more enjoyable than this. I think.
Yeah, I think the Flash
had cool as fuck scenes. Yeah. It still had cool as fuck scenes. It was actually funny. To me, like, it actually had some funny moments.
Jason Momoa made this film, let's be honest.
Yeah, but even he was not that good, isn't it? Like, funny. He wasn't like, his writing was shit.
Yeah, his jokes were hit and miss. Like, it didn't really add, it wasn't as funny as the first one. His jokes in the first one were better than this one.
They didn't land on this one very often for me. I was kind of like groaning. I was like, oh.
But like I said, generally, if Jason Momoa wasn't in this film wouldn't be very good.
He is, or was, the DCU's for. That's what he was, right? And he's that's what they went for. They went for. They wanted like a big buff character who had like a unique silly power, you know. Yeah. Well,
it's not silly, but
it's not silly, but it is silly compared to all the other DC characters. Yeah. It is a bit. How do you make it work? He can command the sea, all the creatures and stuff. It is very strange. Yeah, it had pacing issues.
Yeah,
like it felt very rushed. The CGI's hit or miss. The humor's very hit and miss. The villain is better.
Villain was good. I actually thought the villain was good, and they linked it back. They linked it back to Atlantis.
It connected quite well with the first one.
Yeah, like I said, it did bits. There were bits that were good. And I'd say them linking it back to the first one, bits where they needed to was good to keep people remember. Basically, it made the audience remember the main bits from the first film.
Yeah, like you don't need like Aquaman 1 came out quite a few years ago now.
Yeah,
it was like 2018 or something.
Something like that.
And like that's a few years, and this has also got delayed. It had got delayed because of COVID and Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and all that shit.
Yeah.
So that was a whole thing. But it's just a shame that this is not a good send off for DCU.
Yeah,
it actually would have been better if Flash was the send off.
I think so. Yeah, I think
sucks.
Because it would have made more sense.
And it made more sense as well.
Because the whole story of the Flash was they reset things. And with the whole new DC universe coming from James Gunn, it's James Gunn, isn't it?
Yeah, James Gunn. James Gunn. Not James Wan, who directed this film.
Yeah. James Gunn obviously is resetting everything, and obviously some characters we don't know what's going to happen to them because there's still no confirmation that Jason Momoa is coming back. Even though he was in the Flash film.
The thing is like I actually like the start of it a lot.
Yeah.
It starts strong. It actually starts strong.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going further and further down like the ocean. Like it just like blah 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 blah. And this film has so much CGI bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't like about the first film. But it was even worse. Actually, it's about the same as the last one. So in the first film, there's a massive fight at the end with loads of CGI creatures and lasers and shit. You get that again, and I don't.
Not to the same extent.
Not to the same because it's not like a war.
No,
it's like just a big battle. Yeah. It's not really a war. And that pissed me off. I don't like how it's kind of annoying.
They kind of copied the same format as the first one. In certain places,
and they really are trying to make Atlantis like the new Wakanda.
Yeah.
It literally, the whole time I'm like, they're really trying to make it Wakanda, make it cool with all the armor and shit. And it's just not as cool. And even like the music's just generic as fuck. Like, it was just kind of.
That's the problem with cut films.
Yeah.
When it goes through production like it's done, you're never going to get a fantastic film. Like, it was just okay.
This film is okay.
Yeah.
It is the most okay film.
Yeah.
But even I'm like, we paid like £7.
Yeah, we went 2 for 1. And I wouldn't pay full price for this film.
I honestly want a little bit of money back, man. I went in, I got a Costa drink, or what was it, tropical cooler or something. I got a packet of crisps, and that was about £6 something. I want the money back for the crisps. That's kind of how I feel right now. I feel slightly ripped off.
Yeah, it is what it is. Well, it is the end. I'm more of a DCU fan, and I hope the next set of DCU films will be good.
Yeah, what makes me happy is we're going to go fresh again.
Yeah,
and I think they'll do it right this time.
I think
they should do it right.
They're not going to rush it.
They're not going to rush it. They're not going to try and catch Marvel's footsteps. Yeah. Hopefully, it's not going to have to be this whole fucking universe again.
Yeah,
but the thing is, it makes me sad because Jason Momoa was.
He's a good
Aquaman. He is actually a good Aquaman. And also, Rio, if you're watching this, which you fucking are, Guinness. Bro, they have Guinness placement all the time, and they even have a line about it.
You could tell
that was so bad. That was so forced. It was so forced. Like you literally had a line about it, and it's in the first like 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah,
and they're cracking it open and they're pouring in a Guinness.
Well, think about it. They had to get money from somewhere. So
yeah, literally, it had to be fucking one of the worst drinks in the world, didn't it? Fucking absolutely molten lava, disgusting shit.
But yeah, we can talk about this for a long time, but that's what you guys want.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'll just say, like, as a last ending point, like, it's not shit enough to shit on it.
No.
But it's also not good enough to praise it.
No.
It's literally
a meh.
I'm giving it a 5.
I'd give it a 5.5.
Yeah, I can see a 5.5.
I was thinking at the start it'd be a 6. That's what
my general
impression was going to be, because I gave the first one a 7. Like, I thought it was a good film. Like, it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad.
I think better on the first one now.
Yeah, I think the first one's definitely better. Yeah. I just think the story in this one was better, but because of how it was structured and how things were basically just put together, whacked together by different people, and they kind of had to salvage the film.
Yeah,
that's probably why it wasn't as good. Because originally when this film was announced, I had high hopes. because
it was one of the more ones we were interested in.
Yeah.
Like, how are they going to make this work? You know,
Yeah.
Lost Kingdom, okay, and they had like
Because they're
a different MacGuffin or item that was cool.
They also
like,
had obviously ties into the actual DC universe,
Yeah.
which they didn't actually do
Yeah.
in this film. Like the
No.
Flash obviously tried to tie in a lot of things, and it did. But this
could
film was
say-
full standalone. It had no connection with anything.
you can say the Flash tried too hard to have more stuff.
Yeah, but I think it was more of
Yeah,
a fan
but
send-off.
yeah,
and I
yeah.
appreciated that because
Yeah.
the amount of Easter eggs in the Flash was fantastic.
It was cool. It was
and
cool.
I think that was my favorite part of the film, to be honest. The Easter
Yeah.
eggs that they left as a fan service. But this film, you could literally have watched standalone and not known anything about anything else in the DCU.
It doesn't have really a standout moment, does it?
Yeah, it felt like the first Black Panther film, but Black Panther was better.
Yeah, honestly, it did remind me of Black Panther 1, but worse.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah,
Black
I get
Panther
that vibe.
1
I get
was
that
a
vibe.
good film, but again, it didn't have a standout moment, and this was kind of the same. They kind of repeated the standout moments, and it's not really a standout moment if you're doing it again.
It's a sequel, but like it's just basically 1.5.
Yeah,
it's basically Aquaman 1.5. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if you remember this in the first film, but they have a great camera shot of like Black Mantis. He's in this film as well. Of like it panning around as he's fighting people, and it's like in Greece or something. I don't know if you remember that with the white buildings.
Yeah.
And that was actually, I think it got an award or something, or like people praised that a lot. And in this film, there's a glimpse of it near the end. You know the scene I'm on about?
Yeah.
One of the main fights near the end. And it's actually sick. It's exactly what I wanted in the film, and it lasts about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you could tell towards the end of the film they basically were running out of budget.
Yeah, they were like, shit, we need to get this film out.
It was basically running out. They didn't have much money left.
The CGI's getting worse.
The choreography was kind of rushed.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Like, we watched it.
Yeah.
I give it a 5.5. Ryan gives it a 5.
Should we just sit with 5.5 or something?
Yeah,
I think I'll go lean more towards. I'll be a little bit more generous.
We don't do halves.
Oh, we're not doing halves?
No, we're not doing halves.
So we got a set 5 out of 10. There it is.
There we go.
You're not going to go and see it.
Wait till it comes on TV. If you're gonna watch it,
TV.
Wait till
Great
it comes on
TV movie. You will love it.
If you just want to sit down, relax, don't think about it. Just want to watch dumb action.
Dumb nonsense.
Watch this film. There we go.
But you know what you need to watch? You need to watch our next review.
Yep, our next review will be
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon
Part 1.
Part 1. So look out for that. And we'll be back again for another review.
Give us a like.
Peace.
Subscribe.
How long was that?